Projekt Guru.
Всем привет! С вами Zak Novak на радиостанции Novorossia Rocks. Welcome to Novorossia Rocks radio station. This is Zak Novak, your American in downtown Donetsk. The program is called Projekt Guru and Guru. My main man here in the house, as always, my engineer Andre as well. Let's get right to it. More atrocities as the Ukraine Junta continues its savagery. Civilian killed by Nazi forces bombing. More savagery by the Ukraine Junta as coup leader Poroshenko and his henchmen target civilian areas once again. As reported, a civilian was killed in Donetsk during shelling from positions of the Ukraine Junta military. A source at the defense authorities of the Donetsk People's Republic, DPR, told Donetsk news agency on Friday. During the night shelling of the Petrovsky district, a man born in 1938 was killed. Information on consequences from the night shelling is being verified now, the source added. Guru Andre, all my listeners out there, things are getting really tense around Novorossia, especially the incident around the border of Crimea. But now, coup leader of the Ukraine Junta, Poroshenko, orders all combat units on the border with Crimea and Donbass. Coup leader of Ukrainian Junta, Poroshenko, ordered on Thursday to put on full combat alert all units on the border with Crimea and the contact line in Donbass. I've ordered to put on full combat alert all units in the border areas with Crimea and on the contact line in Donbass, Poroshenko wrote in his Twitter account after meeting with the leadership of the Ukraine Junta, security agencies, and foreign ministry. The move comes in the wake of an attempted terrorist attack in Crimea. Russia's Federal Security Service, FSB, reported on August 10th that it had prevented the terrorist acts in Crimea that had been prepared by the main intelligence department of the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. One FSB officer was killed during the operation to detain the terrorists. Later, a serviceman of Russia's defense ministry was killed as the saboteurs made a second attempt of intrusion. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Wednesday that Russia would do everything to ensure the security of citizens and infrastructure in Crimea. Ukraine's coup leader Poroshenko and foreign ministry have rejected Moscow's accusations, calling the alleged saboteurs' detention a provocation. More from Novorossia, war crimes as a 16-year-old girl was badly wounded by shrapnel due to Ukraine Junta indiscriminate bombing of civilian areas. War crimes once again by the Ukraine Junta regime as coup leader Poroshenko and his Nazi henchmen unleash a barrage of heavy weapons fire on civilian areas, badly wounding a teenage girl. As reported, a teenage girl was wounded in a Donetsk western suburb as it came under shelling from Nazi Ukrainian troops, a source in the law enforcement agency of the Donetsk People's Republic, DPR, said on Wednesday. Nazi Ukrainian troops started shelling of the settlement of Novorossia in Donetsk's western suburb at about 21:20 local time. As a result of shelling, 16-year-old girl received shrapnel wounds. She was taken to a hospital, a source told the Donetsk news agency. According to the source, shelling was conducted from Ukraine's positions near the settlement of Marinka with the use of mortars and weapons of armored vehicles. Well, from Novorossia, this time our sister Republic Lugansk. Our sister Republic Lugansk once again attacked and bombed by Ukraine Junta regime civilian areas targeted. Genocide. Once again, the Ukraine Junta, with its coup leader Poroshenko and his Nazi military forces bombing civilian areas, our sister Republic of Lugansk. Weapons delivered by the terrorist organization NATO and now used upon the civilians of Lugansk Republic. Coup leader Poroshenko Junta, which is backed by the Obama regime, given the green light to bomb and deliberately target civilians during the summer months. Crowded streets, markets vulnerable by the psychological warfare conducted by the Nazi Ukraine government. As reported, the Nazi Ukrainian army has shelled People's Army's positions in Lugansk People's Republic 4 times over the past 24 hours. The Prince Igor Monument came under fire from the area near Stanitsa Luganska village. The area was shelled with tank guns and 82mm mortars. The area close to Slavyanosernsk populated locality was shelled with 82mm mortars from the Krivska village area, while the village of Nizhny Lozovoye was shelled with tripod-mounted man-portable anti-tank guns and automatic grenade launchers. There are no casualties. Andre, this for you. Just like the failed coup in Turkey, once again the United States is behind a terrorist attack, this time in Crimea. The U.S. Department of State is behind the Ukrainian authorities' attempts to carry out terrorist acts in Crimea. Crimean head Sergei Aksyonov said in an interview with Russia 24 TV channel on Thursday. You see, upon which path the Ukrainian authorities have embarked, the path of terror. That is, they have decided to transfer abroad the method they have tested against their own citizens. But at the same time, I'm confident that these are not their own actions and intentions. The U.S. Department of State is behind them because Ukrainian officials wouldn't have had the courage to hold such actions. Russia's Federal Security Service, FSB, reported on August 10th that it had prevented terrorist acts in Crimea that had been prepared by the main intelligence department of the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. One FSB officer was killed during the operation to detain the terrorists. Later, a serviceman of Russia's Defense Ministry was killed as the saboteurs made a second attempt of intrusion. The terrorist attacks were designed to target a critical infrastructure and life support facilities of Crimea. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Wednesday that Russia would do everything to ensure the security of citizens and infrastructure in Crimea. The Russian president called as silly and criminal the attempt by Ukrainian special services to carry out a subversive act in Crimea. He said their attempt was aimed at distracting attention from internal Ukrainian problems. Turkey threatens to leave terrorist organization NATO. In an outburst following the terrorist organization NATO's perceived lack of backing after the failed coup, Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu threatened Turkey would think of exit if NATO did not step up to defend the country. He also warned if the West loses Turkey, it would be because of its own mistakes, not Ankara's improving ties with Russia, China, or the Middle East. On the issue of support for the Turkish government after the failed coup, the statement added, the NATO Secretary General, Fascist Secretary General, spoke to the Turkish Foreign Minister on the night of the attempted coup and later with President Erdogan strongly condemning the attempted coup and reiterating full support for Turkey's democratic institutions. Let's go back to the Crimea incident. Criminal investigation underway in Crimea on the failed sabotage plot by Nazi spy ring from Ukraine. On Wednesday, Russia's Federal Security Service, FSB, said that it had eliminated a spy ring organized by the Nazi Ukrainian Defense Ministry in Crimea, which was preparing acts of sabotage on critical and life-supporting elements of the peninsula's infrastructure. A FSB officer died during a shootout that ensued during the raid. A criminal case has been opened to look into all the facts of crimes. Investigative and operational measures are being taken and preliminary investigation is being carried out. Criminal proceedings have been initiated over the preparations to commit an act of sabotage and participation in creating and organizing an illegal armed group, and also in relation to the deaths, said Natalia Poklonskaya. According to Poklonskaya, the investigation is being conducted by the investigation unit of the FSB's Crimean branch and the Crimean division of the Russian Investigative Committee. Russian President Vladimir Putin said the foiled sabotage plot in Crimea was an attempt to distract the Ukrainian peoples and divert attention away from the performance of the leadership in Kiev. Guru Andrei, things are really heating up between Serbia and Croatia as the Ustashi regime, Croatia, turning its ugly head, proud of its Nazi past, and again looking forward to that Nazi ideology. There was a rally in Belgrade, Serbia, in memory of the Nazi Croatia storm operation. Last evening in Belgrade was held a rally in memory of the Nazi storm operation victims. In 1995, it was conducted by the fascist Croatian army, trained and armed by terrorist organization NATO countries. The outcome of the operation has led to numerous casualties. About 2,000 Serbs were killed. Many destroyed civilian homes, social facilities, and Orthodox churches burned to the ground. Now Nazi Croatia is blackmailing Serbia with bloody events of the 90s on issue of Serbia's EU accession. Therefore, as was explained by the organizers of the commemorative events, it was a protest as well. Serbs are against brazen rewriting of history with an aim to defame their people and show them as war criminals. At the same time, as was noted in Belgrade, Nazi Croatia continues to cultivate a dangerous Ustasha ideology, rehabilitates Nazi war criminals, and celebrates the anniversary of Nazi storm operation. Serbian nationalists are strongly opposing Serbia's accession to the EU, noted Marko, one of the organizers. Hey folks, I need to stress this, very important from Russian President, our hero, Russian President Putin. Russian President said he considers a meeting in the Normandy format pointless against the backdrop of Ukrainian saboteurs' attempt to organize a terrorist attack in Crimea. Of course, in these circumstances, holding a meeting in the Normandy format, the more so in China, is pointless. Apparently, those who once seized power in Kiev are still retaining it, have shifted to terrorist practices instead of searching for compromises, instead of searching for ways of a peaceful settlement. Kiev earlier suggested holding a meeting in the Normandy format, bringing together the Russian, Ukrainian, French, and German leaders on the sidelines of the G20 meeting to be held in China September 4th and 5th. Moscow agreed with this proposal. Putin also noted that Russia considers the recent, this is very important now, Guru, you remember this. Putin also noted that Russia considers the recent assassination attempt of the head of the Lugansk People's Republic an act of terrorism in the wake of the latest developments in Crimea. That, my folks, is very, very important. Hey, everybody out there, thanks so much for listening to our program, Projekt Guru, Novorossia Rocks radio station. As I stress always, be safe out there, stay on alert, have a great weekend, and see you back on Monday. Bye-bye, folks.